Hello faithful viewers, and welcome to something of an emergency review. And it's an emergency because I'm scared of the thing that you see before you breaking on me, because it has already once. So this is a knockoff of the S.H.Figuarts Spider-Gwen from Across the Spider-Verse. Before we look at the figure, we're going to look at the box, so let's gently put her to the side. This box isn't too bad of an approximation of the legit packaging that the legit figure comes in. It's not the real deal though, because I believe the real deal has the S.H.Figuarts logo kind of embedded into the plastic covering, or at least it's a sticker. But otherwise, it's a pretty faithful one-for-one representation. So you've got key art of Gwen there, I know it says S.H.Figuarts there, but you know, again, whatever. You got some more stock photos of the figure with examples of the crazy levels of articulation that it should be able to do. That's what the bottom looks like. Don't bother scanning that QR code. And that's the box. Our first impressions of this figure visually are very nice. It is stunningly detailed and, you know, is stunningly articulated. You can see the default head that she's packaged with. She does come with another couple of heads actually. It looks very nice, very big, wide silver eyes, nice hood with some interesting detail inside it. You know, you've got your pink and blue webbed kind of deco going on. You pan down the rest of her body, very slim, slender, feminine frame about her. The black and the white torso is dotted with a lot of detail. It looks a bit like rivets, but it's not, because it's not a metal suit. But you have some very nice texture going on. It's very bumpy to the touch, and it actually makes the figure look very nice, as opposed to maybe the Marvel Legends version, which is kind of just matte black and matte white and has no texture to it whatsoever. It looks boring in comparison. This looks very, very appealing. You've got the pink and blue webbed forearms and hands there, as you would expect from the design of the figure and the character. And then you've got trainers there, which are nicely detailed as well, with white laces. You've got visible pins there in the ankles. She's got quite a derriere on her, but you know, it's a stylized figure. What you can do. The pattern of the suit continues around the back, as you would expect from the design of the character. It looks very nice. You've got a kind of a hole thing there, and that is actually meant to be for a stand that actually does come with the figure. You plug that in there, and then you can articulate her and pose her to your heart's desire if you wish. So the general design, the general look of the figure here is very impressive. She looks very stunning indeed. Okay, so these are the accessories that Spider-Gwen comes with in her box. So we can see here an alternate mask with squinting, fierce, determined eyes. We can see Gwen's actual human head there with a different neck piece. I will demonstrate swapping these heads out in just a short while. You've got that little black bit there, which is used to pry off that circular bit on her back so you can stick the stand in. Speaking of the stand, this is it right here, which we'll again hopefully show off in a little while. And then you can see she comes with 3 different kind of webs. There's a long one, a medium one, and a short one, and then various different hands. You've got some closed fists there, some punching fists. You've got the web ripping hands. You've got some wall crawling hands. You've got some, I don't know what you call these ones, passive hands maybe, and they are kind of what she is equipped. Well, no, they're actually not what she's equipped with. You kind of got, weirdly, some straight hands like that, and then the passive hands, which she's kind of got equipped currently. So yeah, you're spoilt for choice when it comes to the accessories that she comes with. So my favourite thing that she comes with are the interchangeable heads, and what you can do to swap them out is give it a really good tug. Now, be very, very careful with this, especially considering it's a knockoff. If you put way too much pressure on it, you might break it in a similar fashion to the way I have broken the first copy of this. You can actually remove the masthead, which is inside. It's a little bit tricky, and I might possibly need to get some pliers to it. Okay, here we go. Let's just gently gently pull it out. I'm trying not to put too much pressure on it so I don't like scuff the neck, which I inevitably have a little bit there, but never mind. So we can remove the head, and then you can see here the detail of the inside of the hood, which is very nice indeed. And then we can take the neck piece off this head here. Comes off with very little effort whatsoever. If we figure out which is the front of the neck, we can just plug that in nice and easily, and then we can thread that back through like that, and then we can hopefully tap that in with relative ease. She does suffer from having a bit of a giraffe neck, meaning that it's just a bit too high up on the body, really, for realism's sake. So yeah, you've got that. I prefer the wide-eyed head, to be honest. I'm not that much of a fan of this one, but I suppose it's good for action poses more than anything else. So now we come to Gwen's actual human head, and this is a very nicely sculpted and detailed thing indeed. Looks straight out of the film, and you can tell it is from the second film because she's got longer hair on this side with the pink tips there. It looks really nice. You've even got her piercings in her upper eyebrow there. So yeah, spitting full of personality. Now, something that you actually can do with this, you can see this seam line going along here, and you can actually remove the back of her head. Now, this is meant to happen. This is not breakage, but what you can then do is try to put it inside the hood, or you can remove her hair as well. That's never happened before. And then you can rest all of that on the torso, and it looks okay, but once again, you've kind of got the giraffe neck thing going on, where the head and the neck is just a bit too high up for realistic proportions. It doesn't look awful, and I appreciate the fact that you can actually display her with the unmasked head with the hood up, but it's still not the best look. So one of the more popular variations is going to be this. So get this hood piece, and just pop it lightly on there, then take the head with the neck piece that is half kind of like the cloth in quotes and half actually bare skin, and then as well as you possibly can plug that in. And there you go. I mean, it looks natural enough. Again, you could make the argument that you've got the giraffe neck thing going on, but it doesn't look too terribly bad, especially if you try to raise her shoulders, even though I'm not sure that's going to be quite possible. It's very possible also that I've just not got it on correctly. Right here, you can see there is a bit too much gappage there for my liking between the hood piece and the rest of the torso. But yeah, that is, I think, how many people choose to display this figure. Now, I'm only going to demonstrate one hand swappage here. So pull that out. There you can see that it is ball jointed. And then I'm going to do a web shooting hand. And to demonstrate the way that you do that, you want to be popping the web attachment on first, like this, and then trying to attach that on afterward. A little bit tricky to do, especially considering that these ball joints like to move about with very little effort whatsoever. So in principle, you put this on first and then you put the hand on, and cut to me having successfully done it. It's not the sort of thing that you can really do at a long distance the way I'm shooting this with you. Keep your figure up close and personal when you are messing about with the attachments. And then the final accessory that Gwen comes with is a stand, which is kind of modular because you've got a couple of different ways that it can function. The first one is with this grabber claw here, which naturally you can assume goes round her waist. And tighten it at your own pleasure. It's not the best hold in the world. I mean, it is holding her there, but you can see that it is clamped at a very unnatural angle, and I wouldn't really recommend using it that way, especially because it's quite flimsy. Now, perhaps the most sensible way to utilise this is by removing the claw attachment and just going through this peg here. And when you've got that panel off her back, then you should be able to just plug that in, he says. I've never actually done this before. And yeah, then you can plug that in, and then you can pose her about any which way you want, and that just feels like a better option, in all honesty. Bloody real. So when it comes to articulation, in theory, Gwen can do quite a lot, but I do want to stress a significant word of warning. Now, the part of the figure that broke on me originally were actually the hip joints, and consequently the entire just lower half assembly failed dramatically. As you can see here, this is my original figure, and you might be able to tell this is held together by blue tack. The ball joints stressed because they were in the hip sockets so very tightly, and it just caused them to basically snap within 24 hours of owning the figure, and thus lower articulation just became null and void. So my word of warning to you all is, if you do not lubricate the joints of these things, they will wear, they will tear, and you will be left very unhappy. So the head is on a ball joint. So in theory, you've got 360 degrees of rotation. Just be very careful when rotating it. She can tilt, and you can see that's kind of like done a black series there and dislodged the neck and made it very squiffy in terms of its positioning. That's not even right, but anyway, let's just carry on. So she can look back only about that far, and then she can look down quite significantly, so that's quite good. Then you've got tiltage left to right like that at your own pleasure. She's got butterfly joints at the shoulders, so they can go in and out like that. Ball jointed shoulders, so you've got 360 rotation, and then she can move her arms out that far. You've got a bicep swivel, as you can see there, so you've got 360 rotation. You've got double jointed elbows, so she can move her arms out like that, and then ball jointed wrists, so you've got 360 swivel. You've got up and down. You don't have in and out though, I will note, so you've just got up and down like that. Now, in terms, just also beware when you're straightening the arms, the elbow joints can get stuck on the outside of the bicep, so just try and get that in like that. Also on the forearms, it can be affected. Okay, in terms of the torso, so you've got a limbo capability like that, and then you've got an ab crunch like that, so it's pretty good. In terms of the waist, you do have back like that, so she can limbo even more than how I just did demonstrate. So yeah, you've got forward and back, you've got tiltage side to side. And now this is where you've got to be very careful, these joints. Now I've tried to lubricate these, and you can probably see evidence of that, just in an effort to make sure that they don't break. So you've got up and down like that at the hips, and she can forward kick like that. She can back kick only about that much, but that's realistic. You do have a little bit of inward and outward rotation at the hips, as well as the thighs here. I'm going to demonstrate the thighs on this one because I've got it looser and smoother, so you can see there is rotation there. At the knees, you've got a double jointed knee, so that's very good indeed. Once again, the kneecap thing can have the same bearing as the elbow, where it gets stuck on the outside, so just be careful when putting it back into straight position. In terms of the ankles, you've got tiltage, you've got up and down rocker like that, you've got independent toe articulation right there as well. So overall, what the figure is capable of doing is quite amazing. Articulation is sublime, but just be so careful, for the love of God, everybody. For size comparisons then, so this knockoff S.H.Figuarts is a standard 6-inch figure, and it is comparable to the likes of Star Wars Black Series and Marvel Legends and a standard deluxe Transformer. So here she is with Star Wars The Black Series Sabine Wren from Star Wars Rebels. Here she is with Marvel Legends Kate Bishop from the Hawkeye series. Coincidentally, both of these characters were portrayed by Haley Steinfeld. Here's Spider-Gwen with the 2008 Titanium Man figure from the Iron Man toy line from the first movie. And then here she is with Marvel Legends Far From Home Mysterio. Okay, so that's been our look at the knockoff S.H.Figuarts Spider-Gwen from Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse. Now, visually, stunning. Absolutely adore the way this looks, with the accurate cartoon head and the textured body and all of the accessories it comes with, the modular aspect. It's beautiful. But do I recommend this figure? Well, considering my experience with this already, and that this is the second figure of this I've had to get because the first one broke so easily, it is hard for me to give you a genuine recommendation. Now, I do want to just stress that first figure, prior to it breaking, I had it on a passive stance on my shelf, not too dissimilar to this very stance here. And I picked her up and the leg fell off. So, buyer beware. You need to be very conscious of what you're getting if you are going to invest any money in getting this. The legitimate figure is very, very expensive. We're talking plus $70, £70. So I will leave it up to your own discretion as to whether you want to buy this knockoff. Thank you everybody so much for stopping by and checking out this video. Like and subscribe if you haven't already, and share it around to help out the channel. And until the next time, see you all later.